Shamshuddin Iltutmish, considered as the founder of the Delhi Sultanate, was a powerful Mameluke king that ruled northern and eastern India, parts of central India, current Pakistan, Multan, Sindh, and parts of Afghanistan. A sovereign ruling a vast empire at the time of Genghis Khan. A slave that went on to become one of the most powerful emperors in a time dominated by the notorious Mongols. Iltutmish was bought as a slave, a Mameluke, by the powerful general Qutb-ud-din Aibak, who was the governor of Delhi under the infamous Sultan Muhammad of Khwarezm. Shamshuddin Iltutmish was well trained in warfare, maths, and politics. Slaves during that time were well educated and trained so as to sell them at a higher price. The brighter the slave, the higher was their price. Iltutmish rose rapidly in Aibak's services, attaining the rank of Amir-e-Shikar, meaning superintendent of a hunt. After the conquest of Gwalior in 1200, he was appointed the Amir of the town, and later he was granted the Qutab Minar, the most important one in Delhi Sultanate. Somewhere between 1205 and 1206, Muhammad Ghori summoned Qutb-ud-din's forces for his campaign against the Khokar rebels. During this campaign, Iltutmish was given the charge. He thought of a plan obstructing the Khokars from crossing the river Jhelum, which was essential so as to enter into the Ghurid territory. He ordered his army to speed march, marching even during the nights, and reach the river much before the Khokars. He then cleverly camouflaged his archers and waited for them to enter the waters, and the moment they were inside, crossing the river, he gave the orders, and his men blasted the army in the middle of the river. So severe was the attack that the Khokars had no choice but to abdicate the plan to attack. Muhammad Ghori was so impressed by his military acumen that he released him from the title of slave even before his master Qutb-ud-din Aibak. After Muhammad Ghori was assassinated, probably at the hands of Prithvi Raj Chauhan as per Rajput chronicles, or Khokars or other assassins, Qutb-ud-din Aibak declared himself as an independent Sultan of Delhi. He also got his daughter married to Iltutmish. Thus the Mamluk became the son-in-law of the new Sultan. In 1199, he also started the construction of Qutab Minar, meaning the Victory Tower, which would eventually be completed by Iltutmish. Few years later, after Aibak's untimely death in a polo accident, Iltutmish, backed up by powerful nobles because of his impeccable service record, seized the throne of Delhi, defeating Aibak's successor, Shah. Now, the old Ghurid Empire was divided into 4 independent parts. Delhi, controlled by Iltutmish; Sindh, controlled by Nasir ad-Din Qabacha, a former Ghurid slave who had been Mukta, or you can say provincial governor of Uch since 1204. Lakhnauti, controlled by Ali Mardan Khalji, a former governor who proclaimed independence and styled himself as Sultan Al-Adin. The fourth one was Lahore, contested between Qabacha, Yildiz, and Iltutmish. Iltutmish now immediately thought of first consolidating his power in his region, simultaneously sending emissaries of peace to other Ghurid sultans, isolating himself as a threat to them. He even accepted the suzerainty of Taz al-Din Yildiz, a former slave who claimed to be the rightful successor of the Ghurid emperor. Once safeguarding his position, he quickly conquered Badon, Awadh, Banaras, and Sibalik in a series of campaigns, but distanced himself from powerful Rajput kings in Ranthambore and Mandor. Few years later, a Khwarezm invasion by Genghis Khan forced Taj al-Din Yildiz to leave Ghajni. Yildiz migrated eastwards, displacing Qabacha from Lahore and captured parts of Punjab. Iltutmish became concerned that Yildiz would ultimately try to occupy Delhi, and so he marched against him. Yildiz sent a message to Iltutmish, declaring that he was the real successor of Muhammad of Ghori, but Iltutmish refused, stating that the dominion of the world is enjoyed by the one who possesses the greatest strength. They both fought at Tarain on 25th January 1216, in which Iltutmish easily defeated Yildiz and had him killed. A year later, he attacked Qabacha, who infiltrated his territories and defeated him, bringing Lahore, Sindh, Sistan, Bakar, and Multan in his empire. He appointed his son as the governor, but Lahore still remained contested for many years because of the ongoing Mongol and Khwarezmian conflict. As a result, Iltutmish again lost Lahore and strategically chose to stay away from further campaigns. As Iltutmish tried to consolidate his empire, a massive horde under Genghis Khan entered Central Asia and the Indus region. The Mongol leader had declared a war against Shah Alauddin Muhammad of the Khwarezm Empire, which dominated much of Central Asia. Shah commanded a massive army, much bigger in number than that of Genghis Khan, but was easily defeated by the military tactics of Genghis Khan and his general Subutai. Samarkand, Shah's capital, was brought down to ruins by the Great Khan. Mass genocides and atrocities were ordered. Pyramids of skulls of men, women, children, and dogs were piled up all across Shah's empire. The news of the Khanate spread like fire and wobbled the foundation of empires all across the known world. Jalaluddin, who took over from his father, Shah Muhammad, tried to wade the Mongol assault. He was also an accomplished military commander and successfully avoided submission, defeating and pushing back Genghis Khan's assault time and again. In 1221, Jalaluddin requested alliance with Iltutmish, but the Sultan diplomatically refused after meeting emissaries of Genghis Khan. With two powerful armies at his empire's doorsteps, Iltutmish decided to stay neutral, but swiftly garrisoned all his northern and western frontiers. He then simultaneously made alliance with Qabacha and powerful Hindu Ranas and Thakurs, exhibiting his strength to both Mongols and Jalaluddin. Meanwhile, Genghis Khan also sought permission from the Sultan to pass through his empire, as he and his army rode back to his capital. Iltutmish denied the permission, forcing Genghis Khan to take an alternate route. Once the Great Khan gone, Iltutmish led an army against Jalaluddin and pushed him back from the Indus region. Thus, he successfully safeguarded his empire from powerful foes from all sides. Few years later, the Great Khan's general besieged Qabacha in Multan, but owing to hot temperature, the great horseman turned back to Mongolia. Iltutmish immediately saw an opportunity and once again sacked Qabacha, making the territory part of his empire. He then rode to east, defeating Ali Mardan Khalji, thus adding Bengal to his dominion. In 1226, he conquered Ranthambore, considered to be unconquerable, and with a series of campaigns annexed Bihar and Gwalior. Thus, Iltutmish laid the foundation of the Delhi Sultanate, which lasted for 300 years, an empire which repeatedly defeated the notorious Mongols again and again and again. In 1236, Iltutmish fell ill during a march towards Karluk's stronghold of Bamiyan and returned to Delhi on 20th of April at a time chosen by his astrologers. He died shortly after, on 30th April 1236. He was buried near to Qutab Minar in the Qutb complex, Mehrauli, Delhi. After his death, his daughter became the first and the only female sultan in the Sultanate, popularly known as Razia Sultan.